I vaguely remember leaving work in Exeter, and I must have driven home then. And then I had the accident in Totnes, and then next thing I remember is waking up in a ward in Derriford in Plymouth. At some point I thought I was in a very light place, going towards a brighter light, and I was being ushered into this place. And I got there, and it felt wonderful. It felt really calming being there. And then they said, they communicated to me that I was welcome to come in, and I refused. I was paralyzed. I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat, breathe, sleep, talk or do anything. I was completely paralyzed, but I was just aware of where I was. It was like being a young baby again. I had to learn to wash, I had to learn to sleep, I had to learn to eat. I had to learn to use the toilet, everything. I had to learn how to write, how to read. It was everything that a young baby has to do. The actual relearning process was like getting it wrong and then getting it right. So you try to do something and you get it wrong and then right, and that went all the way through. I had to learn, for example, in volume of speech. I didn't speak at this volume with people normally who came to visit. I would shout at them because I didn't know that was a rude thing to do. I just, that was not good. She found it extremely difficult. She made it a point of her a reason for her being there was to ensure that I wouldn't be sent off to an old people's home to pop my clogs there. And she took issue with the people at the hospital to make sure that I stayed in that unit and got to a stage of recovery that I could come home with. So my main concern now is shopping and cooking. So I've gone from being a breadwinner in management training circles. I was also a contract manager for a construction company beforehand in Africa. So I've gone from that to being a house husband, which I am now. But I'm quite happy with it. I can cope with anything now. After what I've been through, it's really nothing that I can't cope with. And I've learned to accept now what can't be changed. You've just got to live with it and be as it is. And lastly, I can enjoy the simple things in life, and I can just be and live in the moment. Just looking at the garden, looking at the sky, looking at the wind in the trees, hearing my grandchildren laugh, anything that's emotional and warm is something I want to make the most of. It's helped me to be more compassionate, a much warmer person, and I used to be very much a workaholic type of character, but I now say work is one thing, the other thing is family, and that's got to be the most important to me. There is life after brain injury, and it can be a really lovely life, but it's up to you to make it what you want.